Hello, welcome. It's Becky here. Come to the mat today to guide you through a short all-level flow where we'll be focusing a little bit more on our core strength today. If you have a couple blocks lying around, feel free to bring them to the mat. They might be of use. And if you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. You could perhaps find some books or some Tupperware to use instead, but it is just optional as well. So let's find a nice comfortable position on your back body. And just allow yourself to focus inward for a few moments on your breath. Make this be the most important thing right now for you. Allow your eyes to shut so everything else is tuned out. And just feel the rhythm of the breath inside of you. Just all these different areas of the breath when you're fully empty at the bottom. That wave that rises in, filling all the way to the top. That full position. And then let it pour on back out. These natural ebbs and flows that come with the breath. Connecting the dots. And just passing through each stage. Keep your breath nice and long and calm throughout your practice and throughout your day. All right, let's bring a little bit more movement into the body. So we're going to bring both knees into the chest, wrap your arms around, give yourself a little squeeze here. Bring your chest a little bit off the back of the mat. And we're going to release the upper back down and extend your left heel long. Bring your right knee close to you in wind removing pose. Might feel nice to glide the femur left and right. Just exploring here. And now I'll lace my hands up behind the knee and extend through the heel. So coming into this straighter leg position here. You might still have a big bend in the knee. Let's press the back of the thigh all the way into the boundary of your hands here. And kick up through the heel. So dorsiflexing, peeling the toes back towards you. And we can invite a little bit more movement here, so perhaps pointing into the toe, pulling the toes back towards you. So plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, waking up the feet, as well as every other part of our body. Now ending with our dorsiflexion, toes peeled back. Release the hands from the back of the leg and very slowly with control, waking up that core, slowly lower the right heel down. Take a moment just to observe the body, feel how the right leg feels compared to the left. And we'll do it all over again. So both knees come into chest, wrap the arms around, little lift of the upper back. Give yourself a hug. And keep that connection with the left side. Extend the right heel long and the upper back finds the ground again. Wiggling that thigh from left to right, right to left. Exploring, finding different movements here. Bringing some fresh new blood flow to the area. Lace up the hands behind the thigh. Extend through the heel any amount. Really try to find a strong back of your leg. Peel the toes back. Explore through the ankle by pointing the toes and pulling them back a couple of times, really rolling through the foot. Good. Finding that dorsiflexion, release the hands, and very slowly lower that heel down to the ground as well. Good. Now both knees travel up to the air, but we're finding this reverse or this upside down tabletop position. So flexing through the ankles, shins parallel with the ceiling, press the hands into the backs of the knees, knees into hands, and you control how hard you push. You're in the driver's seat of how much core you want to wake up. Press your back body into the ground, finding lots of shaking happening through my low belly. Now keep the connection on the left side, but release the right by reaching the right hand behind you, extend through the right heel, tap them to the ground, and pull everything back in. When they meet each other, press in once again. Now release the left. Pull it all back to center. Do this a few more times. And you can also just drop the heel directly below where it was hovering becomes a little bit easier. So the further the heel reaches, a little bit harder. The closer you drop the heel, the easier. Good, all right, finishing up so we're even on both sides. And bring those knees back into your chest, wrap your arms around. Let's rock and roll our way up to find a tabletop position, finding your hands and knees. Bring a little cat-cow into the spine here. Inhale, pull the heart forwards, tailbone rises. Exhale, roll through the spine. A couple of times like that. Okay, coming back to your neutral spine. Start by floating the right leg behind you. If you feel stable enough, you can also invite the left arm as well. And as you exhale, pull the right knee and elbow to touch. Inhales, reaching forwards, kick behind you. Exhale, everything comes to center. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, reach long with the arm, kick back through the heel, and the left hand comes under the shoulder. We're going to press all the way up to a three-legged dog. So tuck the left toes underneath, press on up. Just as we did before, pull your knee towards the nose, round your spine, find that cat back, and step between the hands. We'll lower the back knee down. Keep the back toes tucked. Inhale, send the heart forwards. And as you exhale, walk the hands back behind you. You might use your props here to straighten the front leg into a pyramid position. Front toes peel off. Inhale, bend back forwards, look forward. Tap that back knee down. Exhale, straighten those legs. A couple more like that. Good, we'll bend back into the front knee, remove the blocks off to the sides, hands point, and sweep to downward facing dog. Roll the spine forwards to plank, lower down to the belly. Untuck the toes, widen the fingers a little wider than the mat, tenting at the hands, point the toes, press the tops of the feet into the ground. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder, look to the left. Inhale to lift through center. Exhale, head the other way. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower the right. Inhale to lift. And exhale, lower the left. Good. Come back through center. Inhale to lift. Lower through center. Hands travel by your side and headed towards a child's pose. Little wiggle. Let's pull back up to tabletop. Headed to the other side, invite the left heel behind you, kick through strong. You can keep the right arm down and perhaps that joins the party as well. Take this length and pull it all together, round and tap. Two more like that. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good, we'll reach forward, find that length. Right hand plants, tuck the back toes, press your downward facing dog with left leg lifted. And we're stepping a giant step forwards, pull the knee towards nose, land it between the hands and lower your back knee down. Keep the back toes tucked. Consider bringing those props close to you again. Inhale, reach the heart forwards. Exhale, both legs straighten. Inhale, rock forwards. Exhale to our pyramid. One more. Good, both knees bend. Place the blocks off, plant the hands, step to downward facing dog. Good, a regular flow this time. Inhale, roll forwards to plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga or to the belly. Inhale, back bend of choice, upward dog or baby cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. Good, let's lift the right leg high behind you. Pull the knee towards the nose and step between the hands. Good, let's slow things down a little bit here. So you're really finding a long spine. Press the heel behind you nice and long. Take a look forward. So one long line from that back heel through the crown of your head. Getting nice and deep into the hips here. Now let's bring those blocks back close to you if you're using them. We'll find that pyramid position. So straighten your front leg. We're going to hold this position. So I'm going to walk my hands back enough to support me. I'm peeling the toes up and really dig that front heel into the ground. Pull it back. So you're also drawing your right hip crease back. And let's bend back into the front knee. Blocks off to the side. Both hands come on the inside of your front foot, and we're going to walk towards the long edge of the mat, both toes facing the long edge, and then bend deeply into the left knee. So big side lunge here. Take a few breaths, keep lengthening the spine, and pivot all the way back forwards towards the front foot. All right, just get a little lighter on the fingertips, find your airplane wings. The belly lifts off the front thigh into our runner's lunge. Pull it or hold it here. Take a couple breaths. Inhale, arms rise, high lunge. Look between the hands, nice and optimistic. And bring it on back down to the earth. Step back to your plank. Work through any variation of a flow, or you can always stay in your downward facing dog. Optional flows. Head to the other side. Inhale, left leg rises. Pull the knee forward, step between the hands. Good, so find this length. Press your right heel back. Pull the heart forward. So my whole chest is almost down onto that thigh there. Good. Now finding your props. Straightening any amount that front leg. Pull, dig that heel into the ground. Pull it towards you and your left hip crease back. Breathe into your hamstrings. All right, nice big bend into the front knee. Blocks move off to the side. Hands come on the inside of your front foot. Nice big crab walk over to bend into the right side. Side lunge. Hello, Gilly. Hi, sweetie. Wonderful. Walk all the way back forwards to frame your left leg. Get a little lighter on the hands. Find your airplane wings. Runner's lunge. So just like we were before with this long lunge with our hands on the ground, the same concept in your runner's lunge. From heel to crown, long line. Inhale, lift everything up, gaze towards the sky. And bring it on down to the earth. Optional flow if that's what you'd like to take. Or press to your downward facing dog. All right, so we're going to do that all over again, but speed it up for a little bit of a more heated practice. One breath per movement. Okay, so inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step forwards between the hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forwards, press the heel back. Exhale, find your pyramid position. Straighten both legs. Inhale, bend back into the front leg. Both hands come on the inside. Exhale, walk to the side. Find your side lunge, bend into the left leg. Inhale, walk all the way more forwards again towards your lunge. Exhale, lift up to your runner's lunge. Inhale, arms rise overhead. Exhale, bring it down, touch the earth. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, your choice. Slow or don't. Good. Settling back in. One breath per movement on this side. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk the hands back, pyramid. Inhale, bend back into your lunge. Walk the hands onto the inside of your left foot. Exhale, walk all the way over, side lunge, bending into the right. Inhale, walk forwards once again, lunge. Exhale, runners, float the chest off the thigh. Inhale to your high lunge. Exhale, touch the earth. Inhale to plank. Exhale, maybe you flow. Okay. Now we'll walk your hands back towards the back of the mat. Keep a nice heavy head. Perhaps clasp the opposite elbows, a generous sway from side to side. And release. Inhale, walk your hands up halfway up the legs to extend the spine. Exhale, float back down. Press through your feet, rise through the fingertips all the way up. Look between the thumbs. And exhale, hands beside you. Good. So now we've been really waking up the core, learning all these really strong lines in the spine. And we're going to use that as we walk forwards together. So from the back of the mat, nice tall spine, roll the shoulders back. Take your right heel and step it ahead of you. Begin rolling through that foot, nice and slowly. Spread the toes wide as they find the ground, and then transfer your weight. This is where we find that long line from heel to crown. From your back heel through the crown, tilt forwards, finding a toppling tree position. You might just have your toe hovering off the ground. You might be in a mini warrior 3. Good. Now let's stand nice and tall. Lift the left knee up, spine goes vertical. Take a moment, raise the arms up, kick through the left heel. Not stay here for long, bring it down to the mat, and then we'll head to the other side. Roll through the left foot. Transfer the weight, spread the toes as they meet the mat. Lean forwards, long line from heel to crown. Toppling tree, any amount here. Lift tall through the spine and the knee. Kick through the heel, arms rise up. And simply step to the top of the mat. Wonderful. Let's ground through the right side. Get light onto the left toes. And just as we started in a wind removing pose, perhaps let's find that standing now. The left knee or left thigh comes all the way up towards the chest. Pull it as close to you as you can. A lot of flexion in that hip. So right now, your balance is probably being challenged. Good. Now let's lace up the hands behind the thigh. Kick out through the heel. See if you can keep the heel extended as you remove the hands from the leg. And we're going to sweep that foot right past its own footprint. Lean forwards, long spine, and huge step back. Gracefully as you can into your into your high lunge here. Readjust your feet if they didn't land exactly how you wanted them to. Follow your next exhale, lean forwards towards your runner's lunge. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale into your runners. So let's practice this a couple times. Each time, as you come into the runner's lunge, press off your back toes and send more weight into your front foot. Couple more times. And eventually, you might take your blocks, reach for the blocks to ground the palms, and lift into a supported warrior 3. So palms under the shoulders, supported. Kick through that back heel so strong. And maybe those arms come behind you like airplane wings. Cool. Now, like a tin soldier, we're coming all the way back up to mountain pose. Lift through the crown and let that left foot land back onto its footprint. Other side, ground through the left, get light onto the right toe. Lift the right thigh all the way up and clasp the hands around. Pull it rather close to you. We're waking up the arches here of that standing foot. Lace the hands up under the thigh, kick through the heel. Good. Now really that thigh is rather awake now. Release the hands. Sweep it past the opposite foot. Lean forwards as you reach back. And arrive in your high lunge. Find your footing. And then invite the flow in. Exhales to reach forwards. Inhales, arms rise. Good. A couple times now. Shift that weight, point that back toe, launching you forwards. Perhaps on this next one here, you feel light as a feather with the back foot. Stand fully on the left foot, the front foot. Kick through the back heel in a supported warrior three with the option to find your airplane wing arms. Now let's come all the way back up to stand, lift through the crown, and the right foot lands beside the left. Good. So from the top, we'll take a slow, bring things down once again. Inhale, lift both arms up, take a look between the thumbs. Exhale, float forward. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, touch the ground, step back through plank, and work through a flow if that's what you're feeling. Otherwise, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. From this down dog, let's step or jump through to a seat. So take a look towards the hands. You either step by crossing the ankles and come down to the seat, or do a little hop, finding the same outcome. Okay, our forward fold today is going to be a variation on Paschimottanasana, but we're going to give ourselves a nice big hug here. So let's begin by bending into the knees. Take your chest, bring it down to touch your thighs, and then wrap your arms around. So you might stay with your knees fully bent here, or you might wander them a little bit further ahead. Try to keep that connection between your belly and thighs rather close. And allow yourself to stay here for a handful of breaths. Might deepen slightly over time. Nice and slowly release the hands from under the legs. Bring the hands behind you with your fingertips facing towards you. Keep nice and strong through the shoulders, so draw them together. Straighten the arms. Point the toes. We're going to come into reverse plank. Press through the palms, lift the hips up. You can continue gazing forward, or very slowly with control, drop the neck back. Just as it arrives back, pull it back forwards, and we'll lower the hips down. Let's now find a 90-90 position with the legs, with your right leg forward to begin. So sitting off to the right hip, your front shin is parallel-ish with the front of your mat, and we'll come into a twist. So let's walk the hands ahead of your front foot, as far as the spine will reach, and then bring the hands off to the right. Continue with the spiral of the spine by looking over the right shoulder. Now let's come back through center, so you're facing the front of the mat. Fingertips even wider than the mat. Find a little bit of a wave in the spine. So like your cobra flows, inhales, lift up. Exhale, bend to the elbows, waving down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, wave down. So you can continue with the waves a couple more times. Or you might decide to settle in either by pressing your forehead to the palms underneath of you or to a block, and rest. Slowly start rising back tall. And to transfer to the other side, bring your hands behind you. Flip the knees to the sky. And then you'll be facing the back of the mat when you flip, so that the left shin is forward. Starting once again with that twist, the hands walk forward, lengthen the spine. Start rotating towards the left, and then continue looking past that shoulder. Come back through center. Fingertips wider than your mat and way ahead of you. Find a little bit of motion here. Inhales to lift you up. Exhales to roll down. Once again, decide if you want to keep moving or create a little pillow for your forehead and rest all the way to the ground or to a block. Slowly, let's rise back tall. Head all the way back to the front of the mat, the same way you came to the back, and then we'll swing your legs to the front. So glue your toes to the top of the mat. My dog just went to the beach. Now they're stand all around here. That's just, life of living with a dog. Okay. So toes glued to the top of the mat, little bend in the knees, offer something forward. It's slowly, with a smile on your face, lower to your back body. When you arrive, bring your feet a little closer to you, so they're stacked under the knees. Find little robot fingers, the tops of the arms resting on the ground with the fingertips reaching upwards. And we'll come into a couple glute bridges. So squeeze the glute, tuck the pelvis under, then one bone at a time, roll on up. We're not really looking for a back bend to start, just that strength and that wave through the spine. Use your exhales to lower down. Do that 2 more times. Inhales, roll through the spine. Just as you're full with the breath, you arrive at the top and slowly lower on back down. Good. So this third one here. Roll on up on the inhale. Then you might decide to deepen it into a back bend. So that would mean rolling the shoulders a little closer together, perhaps pressing the hands underneath you or pressing the hands into the mat. Lift tall through the heart. Squeeze those glutes to help send the hips up. And let everything melt. Release the hands, one bone at a time, all the way back to the back body. Bring the hands into a cactus shape, feet nice and wide. Just knock the knees from side to side, letting that all go. And slowly starting to set up for our Shavasana. Extending your heels long onto the mat. Allow the toes to fall apart, backs of the hands to the ground, palms up. Letting the air escape the mouth that feels like it's being held in there. Find a little bit more release. Allow your eyes to flutter shut. You have the opportunity to lie here longer. Please continue to stay here. If you're feeling ready to move again, and deepening your breath, And sigh it out. Bringing those small and familiar movements back into the hands and feet. Reaching your arms overhead and toes away, stretching from limb to limb. Slowly rolling to your side body. And press on up to a seat. Bring your hands to your heart center. Pausing just for a moment of reflection, a moment of gratitude, bringing something to mind, a small blessing you've encountered, or a person perhaps you're grateful for. Bring this beautiful energy into the world with us today. Namaste.